Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Taj Mohammed. I am a level 1 student at Riyadh Islamabad campus. Today I am here with a new ChatGPT and topic name is Description Global E-commerce. So let's go start ChatGPT. Hello ChatGPT, how are you?
Hey again, I'm doing great. Thanks for checking in. How about you? Hope everything's going well on your end.
Okay ChatGPT, my first question is what is global e-commerce and how does it differ from documents e-commerce?
Sure. No worries at all. If you have any more questions or want to dive deeper into that topic, just let me know anytime. I'm here to help.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is why do countries engage in international trade?
Great question. Countries engage in international trade for several reasons, like accessing resources that aren't available domestically, benefiting from economies of scale, promoting competition and innovation, and achieving better efficiency through comparative advantage. It also helps boost economic growth and improve relationships between nations.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what are the main theories of international trade?
Absolutely. The main drivers of international trade include things like comparative advantage, differences in resource endowments, technological advancements, economies of scale, and the pursuit of new markets. Additionally, trade policies, tariffs, and international agreements also play a big role.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does comparative advantage shape global trade?
Great question. Comparative advantage essentially shapes global trade by encouraging countries to specialize in producing goods and services that they can produce most efficiently and at a lower opportunity cost. This leads to more efficient global resource allocation, increased overall production, and benefits for all trading partners involved. Essentially, it creates a win-win scenario for everyone.
Okay, ChatGPT, next and for my next question is what role does especially play in the global economy?
Absolutely. Specialization allows countries to focus on what they do best, which leads to greater efficiency, productivity, often lower costs. This, in turn, enhances global trade by enabling countries to exchange goods and services more effectively, boosting economic growth and fostering innovation and competition worldwide.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how do exchange rates affect international trade?
Great question. Exchange rates have a big impact on international trade because they influence the relative prices of goods and services between countries. When a country's currency is strong, its exports tend to become more expensive for foreign buyers, while imports become cheaper. Conversely, when a currency is weaker, exports become cheaper and more competitive, and imports become more expensive. So exchange rates can significantly shape trade flows and affect the balance of trade between nations.
Okay, ChatGPT, next and for my next question is what is globalization and how has it evolved?
Absolutely. Globalization refers to the process of increased interconnectedness and interdependence among countries in terms of economics, politics, culture, and technology. Over time, it's evolved due to advancements in transportation, communication, and trade, making it easier for goods, services, information, and people to move across borders. This has led to more integrated global markets, cultural exchanges, and shared technological advancements.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what are the key global economy indicators?
Sure. Some of the key global economic indicators include things like GDP, which measures the total economic output, inflation rates, which track the rate at which prices rise, unemployment rates, which show the percentage of the labor force that's unemployed, trade balances, which compare exports and imports, and interest rates, which influence borrowing and spending. These indicators help gauge the health and trends of the global economy.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how do national economy become interconnected?
Great question. National economies become interconnected through various channels such as international trade, investment flows, global supply chains and the movement of labor and capital. Technological advancements and communication improvements have also played a huge role in shrinking distances and making economies more interdependent. This interconnectedness leads to shared growth, challenges, and opportunities across the globe.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what is the role of productivity in global economy growth?
Absolutely. Productivity plays a crucial role in global economic growth because higher productivity means that more goods and services are produced with the same amount of resources. This leads to increased economic output, higher incomes, and improved living standards. It also makes countries more competitive in the global market, attracts investment, and drives innovation. Overall, productivity growth is a key engine behind long-term economic expansion.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what are the benefits and costs of free trade?
Sure, the benefits of free trade include things like increased economic efficiency, greater consumer choice, lower prices, and the promotion of innovation and competition. On the flip side, some drawbacks can include job displacement in certain industries, increased inequality, and sometimes the risk of over-dependence on foreign markets. Balancing these pros and cons is key to making free trade work effectively.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how do traffics impact global markets?
Absolutely. Tariffs are essentially taxes imposed on imported goods, and they can impact global markets by making imported products more expensive. This can protect domestic industries, but can also lead to trade tensions and retaliatory measures. In the long run, tariffs can distort market efficiency, increase prices for consumers, and sometimes even slow down economic growth.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what are non-tariff trade barriers?
Sure, trade barriers are restrictions that countries put in place to control the flow of goods and services across their borders. These can include tariffs, quotas, import licenses, and subsidies. While they can protect domestic industries and preserve jobs, they can also limit competition, reduce market efficiency, and sometimes lead to higher prices for consumers.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is
Definitely
how
shape
do
the dynamics of global
listen
trade.
me, ChatGPT, my next question is how do trade agreement affect the economy's growth?
Of course, trade agreements play a big role in promoting economic growth by reducing barriers like tariffs and quotas, which makes it easier and cheaper for countries to trade with each other. This encourages competition, drives innovation, and helps businesses expand into new markets. Ultimately, trade agreements can lead to increased economic cooperation, high growth rates, and more robust global supply chains.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what role does the World Trade Organization WTO play?
Absolutely. The World Trade Organization, or WTO, plays a crucial role in facilitating international trade by providing a framework for negotiating trade agreements, resolving disputes, and ensuring that trade flows as smoothly and predictably as possible. It helps create a level playing field, promotes free trade, and supports economic stability and growth worldwide.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how
No
do
problem at all.
trade wars
Whenever you're ready with
listen
your next
me,
question,
please listen
just let me
me.
know and I'm here to
Listen
help.
me, ChatGPT. My next question is how do trade wars affect the global economy?
Great question. Trade wars can have significant impacts on the global economy. They often lead to increased tariffs and trade barriers, which can reduce trade volumes, disrupt supply chains, and increase costs for businesses and consumers. This can slow down economic growth, create uncertainty in global markets, and sometimes even lead to retaliatory measures that further escalate tensions. Ultimately, trade wars can create a less stable and less predictable global economic environment.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what is vertical and why do countries adopt it?
Absolutely. A trade deficit occurs when a country imports more goods and services than it exports. We spend more abroad than it earns from its exports. Countries adopt certain policies to manage trade deficits for various reasons, like maintaining economic stability, protecting domestic industries, and ensuring that they don't accumulate excessive foreign debt. It's all about balancing economic growth and financial wealth.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how do export subsidies influence trade partners?
Great question. Export subsidies are financial assistance provided by a government to domestic producers to encourage exports. They can make a country's goods cheaper and more competitive in international markets, which can boost export volumes. However, they can also distort trade by giving unfair advantages to certain industries and potentially leading to trade disputes. Overall, export subsidies can influence trade patterns by shifting global supply and demand.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what is the impact of trade liberalizations on development countries?
Absolutely. When trade liberalization happens, it usually means reducing barriers like tariffs and quotas. And this can have both positive and negative impacts on developing countries. On the positive side, it can open up new markets, encourage foreign investment, boost economic growth, and promote technology transfer. On the flip side, it can also expose these countries to increased competition, potentially harming local industries that aren't ready to compete. Overall, the effects depend on the country's level of development and the policies they put in place.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does region trade and float affect global trade?
Great question. Regional trade agreements, or RTAs, are deals between countries within a specific region that reduce trade barriers among themselves. These agreements can enhance trade flows within that region, create more efficient supply chains, and foster economic integration. However, they can sometimes also create trade diversion, where countries shift their trade from more efficient global partners to regional ones. Overall, regional trade agreements definitely shape the patterns of global trade in meaningful ways.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what is the international monetary system?
Sure, the international monetary system is essentially the framework of rules, institutions, and agreements that govern international financial relations. It includes things like exchange rate systems, international financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. This system helps facilitate global trade, stabilize currencies, and manage international financial stability. Overall, it plays a key role in ensuring smooth economic interactions worldwide.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does the IMF support global financially?
Absolutely. The IMF, or International Monetary Fund, supports global financial stability by providing financial assistance to countries facing economic crises, offering policy advice and technical assistance, and monitoring global economic trends. By doing so, the IMF helps maintain stability in the international monetary system, supports economic growth, and helps prevent financial crises from spreading.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what causes currency rise?
Sure, currency prices determined by the foreign exchange market, where supply and demand for different currencies interact. Factors like interest rates, inflation rates, economic indicators, political stability, and market sentiment all play a role. Essentially, demand for a currency is high, its value goes up, and when demand is low, its value goes down. It's a dynamic and constantly changing process.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how do interest rate influence global capital flow?
Absolutely. Interest rates play a major role in global capital flows because higher interest rates in a country tend to attract foreign investors looking for better returns on their investments. This can lead to increased inflows of capital. On the other hand, lower interest rates might lead to capital outflows as investors seek higher returns elsewhere. These movements of capital can influence exchange rates, impact economic growth, and shape financial markets on a global scale.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what is foreign direct investment FDI?
Of course, foreign direct investment or FDI refers to an investment made by a company or individual in one country into business interests in another country. This typically involves acquiring a lasting interest in a business, like establishing operations or purchasing assets. FDI is crucial for economic growth because it brings in capital, technology, expertise, and can create jobs in the host country.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how do global functional markets trends e-commerce shops?
Absolutely. Global capital markets are interconnected financial markets where assets like stocks, bonds, and currencies are traded across countries. They influence the global economy by facilitating the flow of capital across borders, helping allocate resources efficiently. Changes in interest rates, economic data, or geopolitical events can shift investor sentiment and lead to capital moving quickly between markets, impacting exchange rates, investment flows, and economic stability worldwide.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what role central banks play globally?
Great question. Central banks play a vital role globally by setting monetary policy, controlling interest rates, and managing inflation within their own countries. At the same time, their actions can influence global financial markets, exchange rates, and capital flows. Central banks also collaborate through international institutions like the IMF and the Bank for International Settlements to help maintain global financial stability. Overall, their policies and decisions have far-reaching impacts beyond their own borders.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does inflect differ across countries? Hello, ChatGPT, can you hear me? Please give me answer. ChatGPT, my question is how does inflect differ across countries? Hello, ChatGPT, please give me answer. US network issue. ChatGPT, my question is how does inflect differ across countries?
Great question. Inflation can vary widely between countries due to factors like economic policies, levels of economic development, supply and demand dynamics, and external shocks. For example, developing countries might experience higher inflation due to less stable currencies or supply chain issues, while developed countries might have more controlled inflation thanks to stronger institutions and policies. Additionally, factors like monetary policy, fiscal policy, and global commodity prices can also cause differences in inflation rates across countries.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is what is the role of the US dollar in the global economy?
Absolutely. The US dollar plays a central role in the global economy as the world's primary reserve currency. It's widely used in international trade, finance, and as a benchmark for other currencies. Many countries hold US dollars in their foreign exchange reserves, and it's also the dominant currency for commodities like oil and gold. This gives the US significant influence over global financial markets and economic stability.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is how does uh, debate create develop?
Of course, trade creates development by fostering economic growth, increasing access to new markets, promoting innovation and encouraging the transfer of technology and skills. By opening up trade, countries can specialize in what they do best, leading to more efficient resource allocation and high productivity. This in turn helps raise income levels, create jobs, and ultimately improve living standards and reduce poverty.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is why are some countries rich than others?
That's a really interesting question. The differences in wealth between countries can stem from a variety of factors like natural resource endowments, historical contexts, levels of education, political stability, infrastructure, and economic policies. For instance, countries with abundant natural resources or strong institutions tend to have more robust economies. Additionally, factors like innovation, trade policies, and global integration can also influence economic development and prosperity.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is what are the main barriers to economic development?
Absolutely. Economic development is driven by multiple factors, including good governance, strong institutions, investment in education and healthcare, infrastructure development, technological innovation, and access to markets. Additionally, factors like economic policies, trade openness, and social capital all contribute to how a country grows and improves the standard of living for its people.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is how does globalization affect income?
Great question. Globalization can really boost economic growth by expanding markets, increasing competition, and enabling the flow of technology and ideas across borders. It helps countries specialize in what they do best, enhances productivity, and attracts investment. On the flip,
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is what role does education play in economic growth?
absolutely, education plays a fundamental role in economic growth by building a skilled and knowledgeable workforce. It helps increase productivity, fosters innovation, and enables individuals to adapt to changing technologies and industries. Over time, a well-educated population can drive higher economic performance, reduce poverty, and improve overall quality of life.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is how does access to technology influence development?
Great question. Technology significantly influences development by improving productivity, enhancing efficiency, and creating new industries and job opportunities. It can help bridge gaps in education and healthcare, increase access to information, and drive innovation, which ultimately leads to economic growth and improved living standards. Overall, technology acts as a catalyst for sustainable development.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what is the relationship between population growth and development?
That's a great question. Population growth can impact development in various ways. On one hand, a growing population can provide a larger workforce, which can drive economic growth and innovation. On the other hand, rapid population growth can put pressure on resources, infrastructure, and public services, potentially hindering development. The relationship often depends on how well a country manages its resources, invests in education, healthcare, and creates opportunities for economic growth.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is what is the impact of trade on economic growth?
Absolutely. Trade can have a profound impact on economic growth by opening up new markets, enhancing competition, and allowing countries to specialize in what they do best. It can lead to more efficient resource allocation, increased innovation, and greater investment. At the same time, trade can also help reduce poverty by creating jobs and improving living standards. Overall, open trade policies tend to drive sustainable economic growth.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer my next question is what is the impact of cultures on economic growth?
Great question. Infrastructure plays a crucial role in economic growth by providing the essential foundations for businesses to operate efficiently. Good infrastructure like roads, ports, energy and communication networks reduces costs, boosts productivity, attracts investment, and enhances connectivity. All of these factors help create a more conducive environment for economic development and improve overall quality of life.
Okay, ChatGPT, next and so my last question is what triggers promote subjects development?
Absolutely. Trade can promote sustainable development by encouraging the efficient use of resources, fostering innovation, and creating economic opportunities that lift communities out of poverty. It can also lead to the
Okay,
sharing of
ChatGPT. तो व्यूअर्स ये थी हमारे आज की चैट जीपीटी। तो मिलते हैं किसी और चैट जीपीटी के साथ। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़। पाकिस्तान